Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks and continuation of my other Roads Tier 10 series. The Indian Panzer one, the Road to the Leopard one, will continue today, which I'm going to be doing, well, after I've edited, after I've commentated and processed. This one, while it's uploading, I should be jumping onto the Xbox and running about in Tier 8 in the Indian Panzer. And then this afternoon I think I'll do a bit of might try and save up a bit more footage, because we're having the boiler fitted starting tomorrow, which is Wednesday, so I've got some stuff saved up for a video for then, but I might try and get a bit more this afternoon after I've done the Roads Tier 10 for the Leopard. Anyway, back to this one. Going through the Swedish line, this is the Tier 3, the Ikv72. This is completely stock, and I think my first game in it, on console. I did get this one on PC. In fact, I unlocked the next one on PC, but I never actually bought it. So this is as far up this line as I'd played on PC, and it's not bad. A bit of a glass cannon. The armor is virtually non-existent, but the gun is quite potent. It packs a punch, and if I remember rightly, it's only really the penetration that changes and gets higher. But yeah, it's quite a nice, punchy gun. A little bit accurate, but then again, I suppose it's got to be balanced out. But yeah, it is quite a glass cannon. And I'm not going to say it's my favourite tank, but I can see why people like it. I can, and I enjoyed it more than the Tier 2. I did find it frustrating and had some bad games in it as well, but I can see why people like this, and I've seen people do well in these as well, so I can see why, because like I say, it does pack quite a punch, and it seems to be fairly stealthy when you sat still as well, because it's quite low profile, and sometimes the accuracy, it's like anything though, sometimes it's spot on, sometimes it's way off. But I think I had 8 games in this before I was out of it. So anyway, while I'm manoeuvring about here, I do apologise again for no uploads over the weekend. And again, I know I've been saying this a lot recently. It's just been very, very chaotic. My youngest had his pot off Friday, which was a difficult day. Spent a while up at the hospital because sometimes it just you're in and out, and then other times you're there for hours because running late, etc. Oh yeah, Artie got me. And then unfortunately my mother-in-law has been taken back into hospital again over the weekend, so it has been quite chaotic. But hopefully things will get back to normal. It's just been, life's been very, very hectic and busy and a bit difficult recently. With various things, but hopefully back on track again. I've said that before, but yeah, hopefully back on track now. But yeah, not too savage a game, not brilliant, could have been way better. And then I had some very questionable games in this. I'm not showing all 8, like I say, some are questionable. This is one of them. This was before I got the top gun on it, and the penetration is just a bit lacking on that stock gun, and also when you're having very low health, when you're in Tier 5 games, you're in trouble. And this one, I barely even got started. Look, 14 minutes left on the timer, so we've been a minute in. Nobody else came up here, and then that light tank, that little Tier 2, is it, or Tier 3, came down. I gave him a whack, not enough to kill him, and that auto-loader just, boom, done. And that's, those auto-loaders, they have low damage and they have low pen, but they put out a lot of rounds and it adds up. And yeah, even though they've got low pen against something like this, it doesn't really matter because you've got no armour, or none to speak of particularly. But I've got it fully upgraded by this point, and I think it's a Tier 4 match, and one of the better ones I had in it actually. And then after this, I think I just failed my way out of it. This was probably the highlight of my my time in this tank. And again, it seems quite a nice little TD, nice little glass cannon. Like I say, I can see why people like it. Not my favourite, but I did enjoy my time in it. Even, well, I say, yeah, I enjoyed most of my time in it. You know, sometimes I did just get very frustrated, but yeah, very much a glass cannon, like I say. But it's got quite a decent gun, and I think it's the next tank. It could be this one, or is it this one that's got ridiculous pen? No, I think it might be the next pen. Gun depression. It could be the next one that's got ridiculous gun depression at like -14 degrees or something, which is absolutely ridiculous. And looking forward to putting that on some ridge lines. So it's got a little bit of armour on the front, and I think if you're on a ridge line and you can use all of that 14 degrees, I think it's going to increase that armour effectiveness. Now the only thing with this gun is accuracy. Like I say, it's sort of range, it is very inaccurate. Then again, a lot of the low tier TDs are the same, you know, at that sort of range are inaccurate. And I know the tank is balanced because of the lack of armour, but it is quite nippy. And that gun does need to be balanced somehow. Because, you know, it does have decent damage, sorry, not, you know, not ridiculous sort of penetration for its tier. You know, it's probably on par with some of the other TDs you can get down at this tier, but it does just seem to give him a bit of a punch. But yeah, this was I don't quite know what happened in this round. I mean, as you can see, we're only a couple of minutes in and we've lost 5 tanks already to the enemy team's 2. So it's, yeah, looking a bit iffy. But that tier 3, that M3 Stuart, hit him once and that's like half his health gone. I think it's only about 110, something like that it does. But then again, there's not much else, I think, that, you know, sort of normal tank-wise, non-TD, you know, your mediums and what have you, there's not a great deal that does that with a sort of standard gun, because when I saw the stats of this originally, I kind of thought it was a howitzer of some sort, but it's not. It's sort of a proper, you know, proper tank gun. It's got lower pen than some of the other tier 3 TDs, but it didn't really seem to make much of a difference to me once I got it fully upgraded. You know, I don't think I needed to fire any premium, or if I did, it was maybe 1. But yeah, you know, like I say, I looking at some of the stats of it originally, and with the sort of the short barrel of that stock gun, I did kind of think it was some sort of howitzer, but no, it's sort of a proper tank gun. Slightly slow shell velocity, but not too bad. You see, I know I took a hit there, but I thought I could risk a reload and take him down, but the accuracy just didn't do it. And now I've got something shooting at me from over there. I'm assuming it's that guy. It was coming from that direction. But we've got to be careful. The enemy team are giving us a bit of a trouncing. We've got a few back. There's only a 2 tank sort of lead in it now, but I just can't seem to hit that B2. And that one is that's the captured German version, which is a premium one, and it's essentially it's a premium B1 from the French line, but I don't think it has the fully upgraded gun, if I remember right. There could be wrong because I've not got one, so I've not reviewed it, but I think if I remember rightly, it doesn't have the fully upgraded gun from the French B1. But if it's still there in the store, I didn't go on yesterday. I think it was in the store yesterday. But if it's still there today, I may pick one up and review it, just to, you know, have a bit of a trundle about. I've been asked to do a review of that before when it was last in the store, but it's not one that I could get a loan on. So yeah, I don't know. I might pick it up. We'll see. I just hit the tracks on the M3 Elite. It went down a little bit. That one went in though. We're starting to claw it back, although we've got that Stug. It's made its way round up here. Although he is concentrating on trying to take down that heavy tank of ours up here, so maybe if I can sneak up here. Although, where he's positioned himself, that's a bit of a bugger. Track him. See if I can just hit that front hull. There we go. And I'm getting a bit impatient here with the accuracy. I want to try and take him down before he takes out the heavy, but that, you know, that'd be sort of ideal. Artie's managed to hit him as well, and one more, hopefully, through there. Fingers crossed. There we go. So the heavy has survived, luckily, and we are now capping. Well, we've been capping for a while, or we were capping, but that's now been interrupted, I'm assuming, by that light tank. I can't see the friendly tank that's in cap, and that's down to radio range. Somebody asked me the other day, what about the radio? What does it do on here? And basically that's what it is. If you're out of radio range, you will not see your friendly tanks on radar that are out of radio range, and thusly, generally, you will not see anything that they spot either. It won't show up on your radar. And that's what radio range does. It's more sort of apparent down at the lower tiers where there's a lot smaller radio ranges, and generally when you're on the bigger maps. As you get up the tiers, the radio ranges are normally enough that, unless you know you're on one extreme of the map, sort of in one of the corners and they're in the other corner, then you're going to be able to see each other most of the time anyway. So it doesn't really mean, you know, it's not really much of an issue at the higher tiers as it is down at the lower tiers. But yeah, test it out with some of your friends or something. Go in a training room on one of the bigger maps and sort of drive in opposite directions and see when you disappear off each other's radar. But that's what it's there for. Now, we've got somebody in our cap. There's just me and a medium left. And there he is. And it's an A20. I did take a hit from him. I knew I would. But I wanted to make sure that I was aimed in so that would actually hit him and kill him. I didn't want to miss that one because then I really would have been in a bit of bother. And right, what we're doing now, we've got 2 TDs, 2 light tanks left, and there's me and that very low health medium. There's one of the TDs. Oh dear, it's the one up from me, and I think they get a pretty hefty gun on them. In fact, I think they do some excuse me. I didn't like to do that then, but yeah, I think they get something with about 300 damage on them or something ridiculous. But it seems to be it is a howitzer. I think it's about 63 pen, maybe 53 for the HE. But unfortunately, as you can see, that one did turn out a loss. But one of the better games that I had in it. Not massive damage or anything else, but I did manage to come top of the table. I only had 8 games in it, like I say, and after that one I kind of just failed my way out of it. But I've now moved on from that one, and I've got the tier 4 unlocked. I think I've just got to buy it if I've not bought it already, and I've just got to sort my career out. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm going to get this processed, get it uploading, and I'm going to jump on the Xbox and jump into the Indian Panzer, and I'll probably be on there for the next few hours, and then this afternoon I'll be back on PlayStation trying to get a bit of footage. Not sure what tier I'm going to be on PlayStation, but on Xbox I'm going to be in tier 8. So I may see some of you in a game. Anyway, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.